Hey friends, I hope your week is off to a great start. Today we're going to be making BA's best banana bread. I was scrolling through my Instagram the other day and saw a meme about banana bread, so that's where we are right now. It's no longer about drinking and Netflix, it is baking banana bread. So fortunately I've got these bananas that are past their ripeness that I prefer to eat them at just as a fruit, so banana bread is the perfect outlet for these guys. And without any further ado, let's jump right into it. In the bowl of my stand mixer, I've got some dark brown sugar. To that, I'm going to add half a stick of room temperature butter, along with some full fat yogurt. The recipe calls for mascarpone, but lists Greek yogurt as a substitute. I didn't have Greek, so I am using just traditional yogurt. I'm sure it will be just fine. Perfect, so with all of the ingredients in here, we are going to cream this for about 4 minutes until it's super light and fluffy. So whenever I use my stand mixer, I always use my scraper beater when I'm creaming. It's got this kind of squeegee blade that cleans the inside of the bowl as you're going. So it speeds up the mixing time and I don't have to stop and kind of scrape things quite as often. I always do just for good measure. So I'm just gonna slot that on and we will get mixing. And my stand mixer actually has a timer built into the base. So I've got this set for 4 minutes. So it's going to just count down for me and stop when we're there. So while the wet ingredients are mixing together, we can go ahead and whisk together our dry ingredients. So I've got AP flour, baking soda, and a little bit of kosher salt. And we'll just get this all evenly incorporated. Perfect, so these are gonna be ready when we need them, so we'll set these aside for now. Also, while this is mixing, we can go ahead and mash up our bananas. So recipe calls for 4 bananas. I'm gonna mash them in a measuring jug for 2 reasons. So first, it gave an approximate volumetric measurement of 1.5 cups of mashed bananas. I also want to weigh this out for you guys so that you can have this in grams as well in case that's a little bit easier. I love the smell of really, really overripe bananas. It's so like everything that fake banana flavor is trying to be, where it's just like super, super sicky sweet. I love it. I hate fake banana flavor though. All right, so bananas are in. I do not have a potato masher, so I'm just going to use a dinner fork and get these kind of all smushed together. And you want to mash these down until they start to get a little bit soupy. Wow, and you can really see how quickly these bananas got pulverized into basically a banana soup. So you can see my texture here. It's pretty liquidy. There are a few lumps in it. I actually like when there are lumps of banana in banana bread, so I'm not going to try to get this smooth like a puree. I think I'm pretty satisfied with the way that this is looking. All right, so this has been mixing for exactly 4 minutes at this point. So you can see it actually does look fluffy. It does also look a little bit speckly. Maybe this is slightly broken. That same thing happened to Carla though when she was making the banana bread over on BA's channel. I think it was like a year ago at this point. Could be due to my using regular yogurt rather than Greek yogurt, or regular yogurt rather than mascarpone. But regardless, we're just going to power through this. So we're going to add our eggs one at a time and then beat really well between each addition. Egg number 2. So on very low speed, I'm going to slowly add in our prepared dry ingredients. I'm going to just stop here and knock the flour off of the mixer paddle so we don't have any unincorporated flour bits when we're done. Give a quick scrape around the top of the bowl. It's a good opportunity to scrape the beater as well. Sometimes you get a little bit of like a travel situation where the ingredients are riding around on the blade and not really getting incorporated. So I like to scrape that off as well. And then we'll just mix this one last time really quick to get those scraped up bits incorporated. So that actually helped quite a lot with the quick scraping. And you can see the texture here. This is looking really smooth and well incorporated. Now I'm going to take all of these bananas and we'll just dump these in here. Hope you got the sound on that. It was very appetizing. All right, and I'm just mixing this briefly to get those bananas incorporated. Cool. I think that's good. So walnuts are optional. Chocolate chunks are optional. I am going to go with the walnuts. I'm not going with the chocolate chunks. Here I've got 1/2 cup of chopped walnuts, and the word order and punctuation matters here. So this is 1/2 cup of chopped walnuts, not 1/2 cup of walnuts chopped. So you measure after the chopping. Cool, so now here I've got my loaf pan. This is just a standard size loaf pan here. I greased it with a little bit of nonstick vegetable oil spray, lined it with some parchment paper, and now we're gonna fill it up. All right, great. So We have got our loaf all ready to go. The oven is up to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So we're gonna pop this into the center rack of the oven for 55 to 65 minutes. We're looking for a toothpick inserted into the center to come out cleanly. So use your eyes and senses, don't just go by the time. In total, my bread baked for 57 minutes, and now I'm gonna let this cool at room temperature in the pan on a wire rack. The bread has been cooling at room temperature for a little over an hour. I've cut myself a slice, and this is the finished product. So you can see the texture of the bread is super dense. I love seeing the appearance of the nuts in here, as well as some flecks of banana. The exterior did pick up a lot more color than I was expecting based on what Carla's looked like in the BA video. So hers was a much paler type of bread. So you can see that this has got some nice caramelization kind of all the way around the outside, even on the top. But overall, I mean, it looks great, it smells great, it feels incredibly moist, and obviously I've got myself a nice thick slice here. So I'm really eager to bite into this and see what it's all about. So let's see. I like that bit on the outside. It's got that extra bit of caramelization. It's a little bit crunchy in a really good way. I love the texture of walnuts and baked goods. They're so tender on their own, and it gives that perfect amount of chewiness. You can even see here some banana kind of fragments on the inside that is like the stringy bits from us not blending that all the way down to a puree. So I really like that. You can see pulling it apart, it's super tender. So overall, I'm really happy with this banana bread. The taste, texture, appearance, all of it is working exactly as I had hoped. It came together so simply. This from start to finish was maybe like 20 minutes total. So that's a pretty quick time to get everything measured out and assemble everything and get it into the oven. Definitely recommend that you give this one a try if you've got some bananas that are about to turn on you. I hope you enjoyed this week's video. If you did, please be sure to give me a big thumbs up and click subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next week.